That's what I think of Hall. And there is some butt. There is some chiseled boutte on display. Hello, my name is Lacey, and welcome to my recap of episode 7 of Temptation Island, season 5. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when my next recap is live, because I do a lot, and I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so thank you so much for your support. It is morning in the guys' villa, and Chris and Alexis are in bed and talking about how much they're connecting on every level now, and we saw him going at it last time, so we know every level we saw with our eyes. And it was little Jackrabbity. What? Who said that? Huh? Paula and Michaela, who still have not even kissed throughout this whole thing. So who knows if you want to have babies with her? What if she's a terrible kisser? What if Hall's a terrible kisser? Just saying. They're talking again, and Michaela is worried about when Hall talks to Caitlin, and she's worried because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. So she's questioning whether he's gonna go through with ending things with Caitlin and moving on with Michaela, or if he's just gonna return back to Caitlin. Great is flirting with Tammy very much in the pool, and Nafisa is not happy about it. She clocks it and walks inside. That will be dealt with later. Oh, you best believe. So Mark comes in to both villas, and he tells the couples, like the original couples, that they have their option to send a 30-second video message to their partner who's in the opposite villa. This time, there's a twist, and in addition to being able to send the video or not, now the singles who have been dating the exes, the couples, can also send a message to the ex. So like Paris and Tajik, they can both send a message to Great, or Great and Nafisa can both send a message to Paris, kind of like that. So that's a new thing, and we'll see if anybody takes them up on the offer or does not, or just wants to stay out of it. Nafisa pulls Great, and she says how she feels disrespected because he's flirting right in front of her face with Tammy. And he's like, oh, are you saying I can't do something? Like, oh, are you controlling me? And it's like, no, but there's a level of respect, and if Nafisa's in your bed every night, then you probably shouldn't be flirting with somebody else. On top of that, there's also Paris in the other villa. Great says that he's keeping Nafisa kind of at arm's length because he doesn't want to get hurt, and so then he's like not getting close to her. And she's like, okay, well then I can walk away. You know, we don't have to talk after this. It's up to you. At the ladies' villa, Paris and Tajik are making out in the billiards room. Ooh. Caitlin is kind of hitting it off with Sebastian a little bit more, and Michael is jealous and he's not really liking the situation. And now it is time for the evening parties, because there's always a party, because everybody needs to get drunk and duck. Rob is really feeling Desiree right now, but he still cares about Vanessa, and he's talking about maybe getting back together with her. And I'm like, no, please move on with Desiree. At least she's kind of like into you. Vanessa hates you for whatever reason. She's like just mean. Get out. Save yourself. In the ladies' villa, I'm finally seeing a little bit of action between Bryce and Vanessa, and he's grabbing that booty, like handfuls of it. And his handful cup runneth over with peach. Maricela and Christian are making out hot and heavy, and the red light goes off in the guys' villa. Okay, so here comes some great drama, and it is garbage because he's a garbage person, and he treats ladies like garbage. So, okay, let's get into it. First of all, everybody's been drinking, okay? So I'm not entirely sure Great is all there. He is flirting hard with Tammy, who is thirsty Tammy. And she's like, oh, can we go in the other room? I want to kiss. And, you know, and I don't want to do it here because Nafisa is like behind Tammy, eyeing Great the entire time. Like, okay, let's see what you do, sir. Great kind of rebuffs Tammy, saying he doesn't want the kiss to be planned, so that's why he's not going in the other room with her to kiss. But then we find out he doesn't want to go in the other room with Tammy because he is eyeing Abby. Where did that come from? So Abby, he calls her over, And she's kind of flirty, and they do shots and stuff, and he kind of insinuates that he wants something with her, at least a kiss, not necessarily a relationship, because Lord knows Great doesn't want relationships. And Abby, for her part, thank you, Abby, says Great just has an ego on him. He's flirting with all the girls. And she tells Great that she is not comfortable kissing him right now. Good for you. Don't get into that mess. If you want to flirt and do shots, fine, but don't get into that mess. That tongue gets around. All the while, Great is talking to Abby. Nafisa is sitting behind Abby, kind of doing this. Just bouncing. So Great is probably like, I don't know where to look. I mean, that was kind of a little pick-me, Nafisa, so I think she needs to chill out too. This guy is not worth it. And he's not going to pick any of y'all. He's going to go back to Paris, just FYI. So this is all kind of pointless. So now Nafisa she comes over to Great, and she's like, hey, you need to stop flirting with everybody. And while she's trying to school Great, Abby and Tammy come over with more shots, and Nafisa's like, hey, can you give us a minute? We're talking here. And they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, hold his shots for him. He will be right there. Okay? Laying down the law. After Nafisa sends the girls away, Great does say that he wants Nafisa more than anybody else. And so she says, okay, well, then you need to make it clear to them that this is not happening with them, or I'm out. And so I guess everything works out, because the next thing we see is Great and Nafisa taking a shower. And there is some butt. There is some chiseled booty on display. I will say that part of Great is not too bad. But the rest of it, his personality, garbage. And because they got naked and got in the shower together and probably did more, the red light goes off in the ladies' villa. Caitlin sees the red light and she's like, you know what? I need to have more fun. I need to find me, especially after all this crap Paul's been talking, not about her, but about the relationship. And so she's licking whipped cream off of Sebastian's abs. Woo, there's a lot of divots in those abs, a lot of grooves. Maricela licks whipped cream off of Paris's butt. And there's some flirtatious or, just drunken fun going on there. I'm not quite sure. We do know because of Chris that Maricela is also into ladies, so maybe she's enjoying this. And Paris seems to be enjoying herself too. And Christian is also enjoying the view because Maricela and Paris make out a little bit, or a lot of it really. They make out, they get hot and heavy. And then Maricela takes Christian up to bed, and he's a happy boy. The red light has been going off at the guy's villa through Maricela's kisses, and now it's going with Paris, and now it's going off for her getting into bed with Christian and making out. In the guy's villa in the morning, Rob and Desiree are smooching. Nafisa decided she's gonna trust Great, and they kiss in the pool. And Chris and Alexis are both happy, but she's a little guarded just because she's worried about where things are gonna go. Maricela says that she tells the confessional that she's like very happy about where she and Christian are headed and how intimate they're getting without having sex. Record scratch, what? You haven't been having sex? What have you been doing under the covers? Has it all been manual gratification? What is it? What have you been doing? Because Christopher sure as hell thinks you've been doing the deed. He's been doing the deed. Interesting. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I mean, why would she lie? I don't know. I'm confused. Michael talks to Caitlin and he throws shade at Sebastian and throws him under the bus a little bit, saying that Sebastian isn't here for the right reasons and that he doesn't want a relationship. I don't know where that came from, but it's looking like Michael's a little butthurt that Caitlin's getting on with Sebastian, and it's not a good look, Michael. Sebastian and Caitlin have a chat, and he's saying how this is the first time he's like kind of had feelings for anybody since his ex. He's a little guarded, a little worried. Like everybody in a relationship, oh my God. And Sebastian tells Caitlin that he's catching feelings for her, but he also says to whatever way this shakes out, to choose herself first. Whether it's Hall, whether it's Michael, whether it's Sebastian, whether it's none of them. To choose herself first. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. More so than Michael throwing shade at other people. It is time for the videos. Rob plays Vanessa's video first. And in the video, Vanessa says she's devastated. I'm sorry I hurt you or held you back. She pushed them in the relationship, but he's not man enough or not ready enough to have it. She wants security and she's tired of being strong. So she kind of apologizes for holding him back and stuff, but she was mean to him and she doesn't address that at all. It seems very shallow and half-hearted. And like, she's not to blame for a lot of the problem. We do get a video from Bryce to Rob. Bryce says that Vanessa is hurt, and if you want this great woman, then you be a better man for her. Okay. He can also be a better man without her. So how about we do that? How about Rob is just a better man without her and Vanessa can go away. After watching the videos, Rob says that he doesn't see the real Vanessa, or that Bryce doesn't see the real Vanessa, the one that belittles Rob all the time because she's on her best behavior and she's like, oh, I'm having fun all the time over at the other house. He is disappointed that she didn't show more growth, and he still is getting the feeling that he's the bad guy and not her, in her mind. Vanessa watches Rob's video. Rob says how much he's grown in their time apart. He says that he realizes that they are toxic as a couple. Yes. He said, we both still need to change, but he doesn't see that she has it in her to change, and he still loves her, but he doesn't see that she's capable of growth. Desiree sends Vanessa a message. She says great things about Rob. She says that he needs support and not somebody who's controlling, and that he is a real man. And after seeing their messages, Vanessa's just pissed. She's just angry. She's just like, oh, he's a great man now because it was my work. It was my effort. It was everything that I taught him. Oh my God, this woman is the worst. It is Christopher's turn to watch the video from Maricela. Christopher didn't expect a message from Maricela, but she does send one. And in it, she says she's cried and questioned what she wants. And she decided that she wants happiness, and that happiness is not with him. Maricela says she found herself in the retreat, and she's enough as she is, and she wishes him luck, and it's pretty much over, essentially. I mean, she didn't say it in those words, but I mean, there was no message from Christian. He just wants to stay out of it. Fine by me. Chris just feels guilty for having sex with Alexis. As you should. But I thought Maricela and Christian were having sex, so I don't know what to believe. Maricela goes to get her message, and there is nothing from Christopher. Ouch. But there is a video message from Alexis. Oh, okay. So Alexis says how great Christopher is, that Maricela broke him by bringing him here, and that Alexis is happy to help him find himself and put himself back together. Maricela is rightfully upset that there was nothing from Chris, no apologies, no growth, no I love you, no anything, and that she said that it says a lot to have somebody else speak for you. Great gets his message from Paris. He goes into it expecting an apology, saying she's just messing around and that he doesn't approve of what she's doing. I hate this approval thing because it's like, I don't know, it belittles the other person. Like, I don't approve of what you're doing. It's like, I don't care. He shouldn't, like, she can do what she wants. So Paris's message, she says she's questioning everything. She's embarrassed by what he's doing. She says that if he wants to stay with her, he needs to fix his mistakes and prove that he is a better man. Great does not take this well, and he blames her. He says she's not growing, she's embarrassing, she's delusional. He actually calls her delusional. He says that she's not learning and he is not wrong. I think this man's name got to his head, and his ego needs to be checked. I need Nafisa or somebody to break this man's heart or something, because this man needs to learn. Him and Vanessa get under my skin. There's nothing from Tajik. Stay out of it, bud. Paris's turn. She goes into the video expecting an apology, or at least hoping for one. Great says that he has trust issues and that he's hurt by her when he's the one who's cheated multiple times during their relationship. He also says that he's becoming better. There is a message from Nafisa, because of course there is, because she needs to say something. She rubs it in that she has been spending long nights with Great and getting to know him intimately and connecting. She says, I hope you're getting something over there as well. Bye. So that was a slap in the face for Paris, and she feels disrespected, embarrassed, and very confused as to how things got to where they are now. Caitlin goes to get her message from Hall. She's hoping that Hall is willing to work on the relationship. I'm not sure why, because it seems like they're just not right for each other, at least not right now or ever maybe. So I don't know why she's like hopeful that he wants to get back together with her, especially after what she's seen with him and Michaela. Why? In his video, Hall compliments Caitlin. That's what I think of Hall. In his video, Hall compliments Caitlin and says how much he hopes she's grown because he's grown and he's become a better person. That's like all he says. It's so shallow and so like, what does that mean? Michaela sends a message and says, thank you for bringing Hall here. I'm so happy I found my soulmate. I'm so in love. We have the same family values. Talking about rubbing salt in the wound. Ugh. Caitlin said that it was all over the top, especially Michaela was over the top, and that Hall was shallow and didn't say anything. So she's very confused about what the hell is going on between everybody. Hall watches Caitlin's video. She's very sad. She still loves him. She still hopes that their reconciliation is possible, and she wants to grow as a family together, and that she deserves everything that she wants, just as he deserves everything he wants. There is nothing from Sebastian or Michael. Nothing's progressed with Caitlin enough to warrant any of the guys talking to Hall. So after Caitlin's message, Hall flips out crying and is just like, I need to talk to her now. I need to talk to her now. Get me to Caitlin. So he gets in a car and they take him across the island to the lady's villa. And he's like, she deserves to know, to hear now. And I don't know if he's there to make up with her or to break up with her. Like, I don't know. So the episode ends on a cliffhanger of Hall running into Caitlin's arms, and Caitlin's like, what's happening? And they're both crying. And he's like, you deserve to know the truth. And it's like, is the truth you're not meant to be together? Or is the truth you're gonna propose right now or get married right now? I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me down below in the comments. I'm curious to know. T says bye. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.